Hello and welcome. In this video, we will discuss adding and subtracting decimals. And we're going to start with the problem 28.7 plus 3.25. Now, remember, with addition, it doesn't matter which number you place on top or bottom because the answer is going to be the same no matter what. So I'm going to place 28.7 on top. Now, what does matter is that the decimal for the numbers we're adding are aligned. For example, if I were to write 3.25 without aligning the decimals, this creates a couple problems. The first problem is that I'm not adding each digit according to its place value. 3, if you remember, is in the ones place, and 8 is also in the ones place. So that means those digits need to be added together. But if I were not to place them in the correct position, in this situation, what would happen is that I would be adding a digit in the ones place with a digit in the tenths place. Or I would be adding a digit in the tens place with a digit in the ones place. Also, another issue is that I would not know which position to place the decimal in my final answer. Would it go here or would it go here? Okay, so in the beginning, before we even write our second number, let's go ahead and write the decimal for that number as well as the decimal for the answer. All right, so this makes sure that we are writing our digits for our second number in the correct place. So I'm going to write 3 where it belongs. 3 is in the ones place. It belongs under 8, which is in the ones place. And I'm going to write 25 after the decimal. And we can see 2 is in the tenths place, and it belongs there because it's being added with 7, which is in the tenths place as well. And there you have it. Now, before we begin adding, if you'd like, you can fill in your empty spaces with zeros. Okay, now remember, we start from the right side. So 0 plus 5 is 5. 7 plus 2 is 9. 8 plus 3 is 11. And remember, when we add and we get a double digit number, that we need to carry our digit over to the next number and we add onto that number. So that's 1 plus 2, which is 3. And there you have it. 28.7 plus 3.25 is 31.95. Let's try another one. This time a subtraction problem. 17.15 minus 6.5. Now with subtraction, unlike with addition, it does matter which number is placed on top. So we always want to make sure to write the first of the terms on top. So that's 17.15. And underneath that, we're going to put 6.5. But again, first, let's make sure our decimals are aligned by writing our decimals from the beginning. So the decimal for the number we are subtracting, as well as the decimal for the answer. And now let's place each digit where it belongs according to its place value. 6 is in the ones place, so we're going to place it in the ones place. 5 is in the tenths place, so that's where we're going to place it. So now that we've ensured that each digit is aligned according to its place value, we can, if we'd like, fill in our blank spaces with zeros. And we can begin. And remember, we start from the right side. So 5 minus 0 is 5. 1 is too small to subtract 5. So remember that we need to borrow if we have a number that's too small. So we're going to borrow from 7. And when we borrow, we add 10 with the number that is too small to subtract. 10 plus 1 is 11. Before we subtract 11 and 5, we have to remember, since we borrowed from 7, 7 will decrease to 6. Now we can subtract 11 and 5 is 6. 6 minus 6 is 0. And 1 minus 0 is 1. So 17.15 minus 6.5 is 10.65. Now in our next problem, I would like for you to solve it yourself. So if you could please pause the video and solve this problem. When you're finished solving it, press play to see the answer as well as the explanation. Okay, welcome back. So the answer you should have gotten for this one is 38.11. So let's see how we got that. So remember, with addition, it doesn't matter if we place 32.4 on the top or the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on top. And before I write 5.71, I'm going to write the decimal for that number and the decimal for the answer. Now I'm going to write 5 in the ones place, 7 in the tenths place, and 1 in the hundreds place. And I'm going to fill in the blank spaces with zeros. So now let's start adding from the right side. 0 plus 1 is 1. 4 plus 7 is 11, which is a double-digit number. So remember, that means we need to carry. We carry our 1. 1 plus 2 is 3, and 3 plus 5 is 8. And next, 3 plus 0 is 3. So 32.4 plus 5.71 is 38.11. All right, great job. Let's try another one. This time we're going to do a subtraction problem. 35.18 minus 3.57. Again, I would like for you to try this one by yourself. So pause the video and solve this problem. When you're finished, press play and I'll show you the answer as well as the explanation. Okay, welcome back. So the answer you should have gotten is 31.61. So remember, with subtraction, it actually does matter which of the terms you place on top. The first term always goes on top, so 35.18. And before we subtract, we need to go ahead and put our decimal for the number we're subtracting. So we're going to put our decimals in for the number we're subtracting, and we're going to put our decimal for the answer. So now we place our 3 in the ones place, 5 in the tenths place, and 7 in the hundreds place. So now that every digit has been placed where it belongs, we can begin subtracting. So 8 minus 7 is 1. 1 is too small to subtract 5. So remember, that means we need to borrow. So we're going to borrow 10, and 10 plus 1 is 11. Before we subtract 11 and 5, since we borrowed from 5, 5 will decrease to 4. So now we can subtract. 11 minus 5 is 6. 4 minus 3 is 1. And 3 minus 0 is 3. So 35.18 minus 3.57 is 31.61. Okay, excellent job. So guys, thank you for watching this video about adding and subtracting decimal values. And please remember, in order to improve and get the results that you want, It's very important that you practice everything that you've learned. So please do that. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.